Hey YouTube, I'm Kenneth Ryan.
Teresa.
And we're back with another exciting episode of Fanfiction Friday. We're starting a pretty big fic today, but it's the same number of chapters as Clockwork almost, but a third of the length. And I found it, and I have it bookmarked, and I was this seems
How many
interesting.
words was Clockwork?
Clockwork was
300,000?
300,000. This one is 79,000 words. So it's a lot shorter.
But still you take a long time.
Yes. The fic is on fanfiction.net. It is called Star Wars: The New Galaxy. It is by Cloud411, and the description of it is a modern-day 2008 Star Wars story of the Jedi and the Sith, and Mike, a teenager who has no clue what his destiny holds. So I'm very excited because I love Star Wars, and I want to see where this goes. It's got a lot of potential, maybe, to be good, or it's terrible, and we'll hate it, and
Hopefully not. I want it to be good.
I want it to be good too, but we are going to force our way right into this. What a great pun. I'm not forgetting, I promise. And we're gonna do it. We're gonna do the thing. We're gonna do the stuff. Mm-hmm. Do you want to be Mike or should I be Mike? He's the only person that has a name so far. It's a sci-fi drama. How fun. Okay. Star Wars: The New Galaxy, Chapter 1, Modern Day. The run rises...
Not a great start.
Oh, we're in for a treat.
The run rises. I mean, it looks pretty fine for the most part, but just that one word.
But it's the second word of the fic. The run rises to start another day on the suburban street, River Drive. The street is filled on both sides of it by two-story white houses, with clean, green, freshly cut lawns, a typical suburban paradise. People getting into their cars and heading off to another long day of work, children walking outside waiting for the school bus to arrive. Mike's alarm goes off on the stand next to his bed. He moans and flicks it over so it smashes on the floor. I hate that alarm. He mumbles to himself.
Wow.
Oh.
Teen angst.
I hate that alarm. He mumbles to himself as he sits up on his bed. His alarm signaled that he needed to get up and get ready for school.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you for letting me know. Mike is a junior at Riverfront High School. He isn't that popular. He has his circle of friends just like everyone else. So I think what you're trying to tell
16?
me is Mike is gay. And so he's not the most popular kid because Riverfront is a small town and gay kids aren't popular. But the other gay kids hang out with him. I'm just projecting
yourself.
My life onto him. Everyone likes you because you're just friendly and likable, but your closest friends are probably the other gay kids.
I mean, close enough.
Anyway, he is tall for his age of 17. He is over 2.5 meters.
So he's like 6.5 feet tall.
Jesus Christ.
2 meters. 2 meters. He's over 2.
Hold on.
1 sec.
2.5.
1 sec. The next sentence, though.
2 feet. 8 foot.
1 sec. The next sentence, though. Not quite 2 meters.
He is over 2.5 meters, but not quite 2 meters. You are aware that 2 meters is still 6.5 feet tall. Right? Like, you are still conscious
That's really tall.
that he is a giant.
Apparently.
We're talking big. Him big. Not quite 2 meters, but he's close enough that people just say he's 2 meters. He has short brown hair, which looks more like black than actual brown.
Okay.
He takes off his shirt and throws it on his bed and walks across his room to his closet. So, like...
His pajama shirt. He's getting changed into his clothes.
Got it. I was like, what is the point? If you're immediately going to take it off, I guess. He flicks the doors open and grabs the first thing he sees.
He must be really strong if he's just like...
He's 6.5 feet. He's 8 feet tall. Because he's 2.5 meters. So he's a tall boy. He's taller than Andre the Giant.
Yeah.
Andre the Giant was only 7 something.
Yeah, I know. I've looked him up like 2 times in the past month because Princess Bride was on.
Oh.
Twice.
Understandable.
And we're always like, I don't remember how tall he was last time.
And grabs the first thing he sees. Yeah,
if
yeah.
I remember correctly.
He puts it on, then grabs a pair of blue jeans and changes pants. Mike has a slim, muscular build to him, just like me. That's not true. I'm just slim. But he is more speed than muscle. He only has a slightly muscular frame because he occasionally helps his dad at the local construction site, lifting heavy things and bringing them from one place to another.
I'm gonna be brining, honestly.
Brining them. This counts as a page break to me, so...
Okay. He walks out of his room and closes the door behind him. He proceeds to walk down the hall towards the stairs to go down to the kitchen, when he sidesteps to his right just in time to avoid a stream of water aimed at him. He turns around and sees his little sister of 13 years old aiming a squirt gun at him. How can you always dodge it? She asks, annoyed.
You're getting old for that stuff. That's how.
Okay,
he
that's
said,
not.
walking down the stairs. But truthfully, not even Mike knew how he could do that. Ever since he turned 6 years old, he had this weird sixth sense about
You see
him.
dead people?
6 years old, sixth sense.
LOL.
Where's the other 6? Is he Satan?
He's 6 foot.
Shook. He can sense when
When
things are
he was
going to
6,
happen.
he was 6 feet tall.
He can sense when things are going to happen and where they are going to happen.
What?
His mind also seems to project images of things before they happen.
What?
When he first found out about this sixth sense, he tried to explain it to his mother, but not even he knew enough about it to explain it. After all, he was only 6 years old. He didn't know many things at the time.
Yeah. Stupid.
Stupid boy, you're only 6. What do you know of this world? As he got older and smarter, he began to realize that he seemed to be the only one with this gift, curse, whatever you want to call it. Over time, he grew to accept this sixth sense and embrace it. He didn't know how to control it, but he decided that he was not going to fight against it either. Whenever this sense went off, he was always able to avoid dangerous situations or avoid anything in general. He had also realized that he had another out of the ordinary ability recently. While he was at a friend's house, he had someone made a cup come
Probably
to
like somehow was probably meant to be there.
come to his hand from the other side of the table while he was sitting at it.
The side of the table he was sitting at.
Luckily,
There's
no
while
one
in
was
there.
around to see.
So you have telekinesis, and your son. This is.
And you're just like,
It makes it special, I guess.
I'm like special, I guess, but like it's nothing. Like
It's whatever.
it's normal to me.
That was a page break, right?
Yeah.
He was not an ordinary boy. He knew that, but no one else did. He kept his abilities secret from everyone. Partly because he didn't even understand them. So how could other people understand what he had if he didn't even understand? Okay.
Mother dearest.
You want me to be her too?
Yeah, may as well.
Good morning, his mother greeted him as he walked into the spacious kitchen. He sat down at the table, and his mother, a middle-aged woman, yet still as beautiful as she was as a younger woman, placed a plate of eggs in front of him.
Thanks, Mom, he replied. But I'm not really that hungry this morning.
You're a 6
I'll
foot
just-
tall 17-year-old boy. You're gonna be hungry.
I'll just catch something at lunch.
You sure? She asked.
Yeah, yes, he replied, quite sure. She grabbed the plate and walked over to the counter.
All right. I'm sure Stacy is hungry. She always is.
Real parents
She
don't do
replied.
this. My mother would be like, you gonna
Something.
eat.
Yeah, you have to eat something before you
You're
go.
like, you're not leaving this house until you at least eat half of this.
She replied as she placed the plate on the counter. Mike got up from the table. Stacy.
Mike, Stacy, These are the whitest names.
Mike got up from the table and grabbed his backpack, which was next to the doorway of the kitchen.
I'm going to leave now, Mom, he said. Promise Charles I'll meet up with him.
I'd meet up with him.
Promise Charles I'd meet up with him. Charles, Stacy, Mike.
So he promised Charles, yeah.
These are this is
There's
literally...
a Brittany.
This is the whitest neighborhood.
There's a Brittany coming.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
All right. Remember I'm picking you up from school today? She called out to him as he walked to the door.
Yeah, I remember, he called back, slipping on his shoes and walking out the door. As soon as he opened the door, his arm shot up in front of his eyes. The sun was already high in the sky, blinding him at first. He kept his arm in front of his eyes for several seconds before putting it down. He gave his eyes a few moments to adjust to the sudden increase in light.
He walks his eyes like, the sun.
Jesus Christ. Then
he's like emo.
Literally, he has like the fringe, I imagine.
Oh yeah, and it's like, the sun, it burns. I don't go outside, and then
it's 2008, so he's wearing the baggy black pants with like the chains attached to them.
But he helps his father at the construction
That is
site,
peak Hot Topic fashion for '08. Holy shit, we're in that era of the world. Oh my god. This just got 10 times better.
But he doesn't go out in the sun, but he also works at a construction site.
Yeah, I don't know. He then started to walk down the street, or the sidewalk of his street. He didn't get 3 meters from his front porch before he twirled around at the command of his sixth sense. A woman came falling down where he had just been standing.
Hey! She called, hitting the ground.
Oh, hey, Brittany, he said, helping her up. You should have learned by now. Trying to tackle me from behind doesn't work, he said with a little grin on his face. She smacked his chest.
Well, let it work, so I don't fall on my face every time. Brittany was a good friend of Mike's. She was about half a meter shorter than he was.
So she's 2 meters tall. She's 6 feet. And he's 8.
She's 1.5 meters-ish.
Jesus.
How tall is that? I'm curious. Google 1.5 meters.
Meters to feet. She's about 5 feet.
4'9".
About 5 feet.
She's like
a foot
3
shorter.
inches shorter than 5 foot.
That's
really short. That is really short.
I think this person was just pulling numbers out of their ass. They're like, it's a height.
Half a meter shorter than he was. 4'9".
Right.
That's really short. And stunningly beautiful. She had long, flowing blonde hair. And bright, deep blue eyes. I have blue eyes. And a slim figure, too. So she's like almost a foot shorter than me. 10 inches shorter than me.
Oh my god.
But she's me. No. And a slim figure, too. Stunningly beautiful. Yeah.
Yeah.
Whatever. Sure, okay. She patted the gravel and dirt from the sidewalk off the front of her white shirt. How'd she get it on her shirt? She fell, like, literally on her face.
I guess.
When you're trying to, like, tackle someone from behind, you don't jump.
Right. I know.
Okay. I still want to know how the hell you do that, she stated, as they started to walk down the sidewalk.
Bitch, it's called the Force. Do what? He asked, already knowing what her answer would be.
How you seem to always know when people or anything is coming up on you and avoid it perfectly, she answered. It's something about you I haven't figured out yet.
And something you probably won't figure out, he replied with a smile.
Sure, she flashed a smile back.
Oh, the straights.
Line break.
Oh, it's me. Mike and Brittany proceeded down the street until they reached the end of the street, where a lot of other students were gathered and waiting for the bus. No one noticed 2 figures stalking their way behind Mike and Brittany as they approached the bus stop.
This? Someone's stalking him.
He's another one. One of the black-robed figures said to the second one.
They already have more than us. The second one replied. From the ancient texts that made their way to this galaxy by the ancients, the 2 societies have always been in a constant war. Right now, the light have more than we do, the second one explained. I know that. The first one shot back angrily. That's why we need to recruit more, but not all
are that willing to come over to the dark side. Remember the last one we recruited? They refused to join, so we secretly killed their family, giving them a reason to gain power. To save the ones they loved, he explained. Time is coming for a confrontation of the two sides.
So I don't know if killing their family would make them turn to the light or the dark. Because it says to give them a reason to gain power to save the ones they love. So
Well,
that'd be
I've
light,
seen-
but gaining power for, like, revenge would be dark.
I've seen so many theories
Sasuke.
that talk about how the Sith is actually better because the Sith is about embracing your emotions, whereas the Jedi Order is about repressing them.
Don't
Anywho.
see, conceal, don't feel.
Don't let them know!
Okay. This one has an unnatural connection to both sides. The second robed figure said. He could be an extreme asset to either side. Who snatches him? That will be us, the Sith. Chapter 2.
Special. The two blades of energy clashed in the rain, hissing at the rain hit the blades. The two men sidestepped each other and jumped over each other while swinging their weapons, trying to cut each other down.
This is a dream.
One man held a blue blade of energy, the other a red blade. Red versus Blue, Season 16. They were battling on some type of skyscraper in the middle of a massive city. You killed the woman you love. How does that feel?
I don't think they know that women is a plural.
One of the man asked the other.
And then they used to see killing. Shut up! The other man yelled, charging forward, swinging his weapon at the other's head. The other... Oh, this is Mike. Never mind.
Oh.
I should have been the first one. You give me the second one.
Oh, Mike says shut up?
Yeah, I guess.
Shut up!
You could just see both of them.
The other man yelled, charging forward, swinging his weapon at the other's head. The other parried the attack and spun around, attempting a strike at the man's legs. He blocked and spun the opposite way, landing a kick into the other's face. What was his voice? I already forgot. That's right.
You sound like...
Where am I?
A very Potter senior year when the one guy is pretending to be the basilisk. You sounded like that.
The man said, pushing himself off the
That's
ground
kind of what you
to
sound
look
like.
at the other. That's it, Mike. Let your anger take control. Let it give you power that no other feeling can give you. Do it. Kill me. Do it. His yellow eyes pulsating with uncontrollable anger, Mike charged forward, screaming as he ran.
Mr. Moore! A voice called to him. That sounded like... Okay, Mike stirred awake. He had fallen asleep in his
Mike Moore.
match class. Michael Moore, yes.
Ay. Oh my god.
And why, may I ask, were you sleeping in my class? His teacher asked, smacking a ruler in his hand as he did so.
Sorry, Mr. Bong. Mike replied, rubbing his eyes.
Bong! Randomly aligned.
So, like, these aren't actually line breaks. I've come to the realization, so I'm gonna start ignoring them.
They kind of are sometimes. Sometimes. No excuses! Detention! Monday! This room! 3 o'clock! And don't be late!
Green.
Mr. Bong said. That's actually not as painful. It's not as low. I guess. I don't know. It's kind of coming from above the.
Okay.
Yeah.
I know exactly what you
Mr.
mean, but
Bong
like,
said, turning and walking back to the blackboard in the front of the class. Questions 1 through 25 due Monday. You must show your work. Now it's getting kind of gold. I don't know.
green.
And show how you solved the problem and how you checked it, or you'll get a 0 for the entire thing. Dismissed, he ordered as the bell rang to the end class. Mike pushed his books into his backpack and walked out of the classroom into the massively packed hallway. A boy walked up and put his arm around the back of Mike's shoulders. Should I be Charles?
I mean,
Or you want to be Charles?
I can.
Sure.
How's it going, buddy? Got detention, eh? The boy asked. Yeah, Mike sighed. How's it going with you, Charles? He asked. Charles was the most popular out of Mike and the rest of his circle of friends. He always seemed to be friends with all the cute girls, and always seemed to be with one too. He was slim, yet buff from playing football for 4 years. He had what many girls call
They're all slim but muscular.
beautiful brown eyes, the eyes of a god.
Okay.
Mike couldn't help but laugh every time he heard girls say that. Yeah, me too.
How many times would someone say that? How often?
Oh my god, he has beautiful brown eyes. The eyes of a god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Charles also had very clean black hair that went to the middle of the back of his neck. Oh, okay. He was wearing his usual getup, pink shirt, blue jeans,
He's gay.
and a necklace with a crystal around his neck.
Everyone's gay.
Mike and Charles made their way down to the crowded hall, talking. What was his voice? I keep forgetting.
It was nasally.
You know,
Yeah,
Charles
yeah, kind of
began.
like that.
I've been
Not
saying
quite
this
like
for
that.
2 years
Okay.
now. You really should ask Brittany out. I mean, she's single, she's hot, and she obviously likes you. Likes you, he said with a grin. And I've been saying this for the past 2 years, Mike shot back. I'm not interested in having a girlfriend right now. But if you're down to fuck, Charles... Not actually part of the thing, but basically my headcanon.
Yeah.
He explained, my only goal right now is to get through this year without bombing any classes, he added. Charles patted him on the shoulder. Dude, he said. You need a girl in your life, you hear me? Need a girl. A man's life without a girl, unless you're gay, is, well, boring and uneventful. If you don't get a girlfriend, the only type of relation you'll end up getting is from your right hand, he
And
said.
he's fine with that.
Not all guys our age are as crazy about getting girls as you are. It's because you've got internalized homophobia, Charles. That's what's driving you to be this type of man.
Yeah.
Mike replied. Some of us have other priorities. Well, here comes one of yours right now, Charles replied, moving away from Mike.
Okay.
Brittany walked up to Mike.
So, none of us are crazy about girls. Some of us have other priorities. Here's one of your other priorities. The girl. No, he just said that it wasn't his priority at all.
Yo, this is probably written by like a 13-year-old, so like, just let him.
Yeah. Did you read the Brittany walked up to my part?
Yeah.
'Cause I thought you said
Yeah.
that, yeah. Well, she sighs, that was certainly an uneventful day of school.
Yeah, he replied. Thank God it's the weekend,
TGIF.
he added.
Yeah, she agreed. So you doing anything this weekend? She asked.
No, not really, he answered, unsure what she was getting at, but he had a pretty good idea.
You sure you have nothing planned? She asked.
Positive, he answered. My father doesn't need help at the construction site, and my mom never has anything for me to do.
Good. Then we'll do something this weekend, she said. How's the movie sound? She asked. They say every time they say something, she said, she asked. She replied.
Mike replied, unsure what to say. After a moment's thought, he said, sure.
So, I'm not interested in having a girlfriend right now. Here comes one of your priorities. It's the girl. Hey, want to go on a date? Sure.
The straights, I'm telling you.
Llamas.
They're crazy. Brittany smiled.
Here's a llama, there's a llama, and another little
Don't you dare trigger me.
Llama.
Brittany smiled.
Good, I'll call you tonight, she said, walking away.
Okay. Mike replied, even though she clearly was too far away to hear. Ha! Charles yelled, jumping in front of Mike. So, mister, I'm not interested in girls right now, he said. What was that? It's just hanging out. It's not like it's a date or anything, Mike
She
replied
just
back.
asked if you go to a movie right in front of Charles and didn't invite Charles. It's a date.
Or she just fucking hates Charles. And she's
That
being a
too.
petty bitch.
That too.
Charles sighed. Man, talk about denial,
Yeah.
he said, turning away from him. Call me after the date. I need to hear about it, he said, walking towards the school exit. Yeah, right, Mike breathed back. The halls were a bitch! Awake the fuck up.
I only have water.
The halls were starting to empty now. Everyone is anxious to get home and spend Friday night having fun. Mike soon found... What's it like to have a Friday that you can have fun with? What?
I don't know.
Mike soon found himself alone in the school's hallway.
On Friday, I woke up. I didn't leave my room for 9 hours after I woke up.
Big mood. Big mood.
Yeah. It was at least like 8 o'clock at night, because it was like 11 or something when I got up, because I was trying to buy KCON tickets, but it didn't really work out for me. I was sad. I was going to spend like $800, but it didn't work. Anyways, so it was like 8 o'clock at night, and I came upstairs.
Yeah, yikes. You blowing all that YouTube money in one place. Yeah. Let me tell you.
Yeah, anyways. Fridays.
Better head home, he muttered to himself as he started for the exit. He tried to open the exit door, but it was locked.
What?
How is that possible? It's only 3:30. The janitors don't lock up till late at night. He tried it again. It wouldn't budge. Suddenly, his sixth sense started going off. He swung around to look behind him and saw a figure in a black robe standing at the other end of the hallway. Mike instinctively took a step backwards until he ran into the locked exit
Sith,
door.
But why are they wearing black robes?
They're the Sith. They don't own any other colors.
I know, but it doesn't need to be a robe. They can just be emo looking. Robes are really suspicious.
Maybe they're not trying to hide.
I mean, maybe they can make it so only the people they want to see
I don't know.
can see them. I don't know.
Maybe. They do have the Force.
Yeah.
According to the last Star Wars one we read, which was actually not that long ago, a disturbance in the Force could be as simple as a bowel movement, so...
True.
The figure had a hood up, and the shadow from the hood was covering the figure's face in shadow. The figure started to walk forward, the person's boots making a thud sound as he made his way across the tiled floor. Mike's sixth sense was telling him that this person was bad news, and that he needed to find a way out of this situation, and fast. Suddenly, the person stopped about 8 meters away from where Mike was standing. It stretched out a black gloved hand and opened his palm.
Force choke.
At that instant, Mike's whole body went stiff and he was pulled forward by some type of force. He was hovering about 2 feet off the ground, unable to move, and mere feet from this robed person. The person tilted his hooded head to one side.
Feet if they're meters?
I don't know. As if he was studying Mike. The only thing Mike could feel was fear. What was this guy going to do? Was it even a guy? How was he being held in midair like this? Just what the hell is this person? The person spoke in a very high, growling type voice. This can be your hooded. Yeah.
Okay.
This is your hooded guy.
High growling.
This is your hooded guy. It's the one you were doing before.
Voice too, but
Yeah.
I don't think it is.
Oh, I don't know. Then just high growling.
I think this is like their boss.
I don't know. I don't know.
You do have an affinity for it, the voice said. Mike managed to only say one thing.
What? The person tilted his head back straight.
You don't know! The person,
Proton?
You don't know! The person
Please.
said.
No, he's gonna be a big character, please.
You're completely unaware of your gifts. Gifts? Does this person know why Mike has this sixth sense? And why he was able to summon the cup to his hand before?
Who are you? Mike managed to breathe out.
My name is Darth Storm. The person answered, Dark Lord of the Sith.
Sith?
That's what his voice is gonna sound like now. You're like me, Darth Storm said. You're special, he added. You're capable of doing extreme things. Things that no one else you know can even imagine. Things you never imagined, he explained. You have gifts. I can teach you to use them, control them, harness them, and make them more powerful. Mike could tell this guy was not as pure as he was trying to put out. He literally just said he was a dark Sith Lord.
Yeah, he's like, I'm with the Sith.
I mean, he doesn't know what the Sith are, apparently.
Maybe Star Wars doesn't exist in this universe.
Yeah, but he said Dark Lord.
Right.
Of the Sith.
Right.
Dark is not a good thing, usually. Mike could tell this guy's not as pure as he was trying to put out. Okay, Mike's sixth sense was telling him this guy was bad, evil, the opposite of the type of person Mike would ally himself with. I offer you power, the man went on. The power to do anything you want with no boundaries, no limits to your capacity, he offered. Do not answer now, he said, waving a hand in front of him and releasing Mike from his hold. In 2 days I will return. Just remember, power awaits you with me. No one else can offer you the control that I do, he finished. The man called Darth Storm waved his hand, and Mike heard the lock on the exit door click and the door swing open. He turned his head around to look at the door, then back at the man. He was gone!
Voldemort has him bondage.
As Mike was trying to compose himself, he was hit with a suddenly realization.
That voice. That's the person I had from my dream.
Oh, so it should have been you. Oh, whatever. It's me now. It's me now.
He muttered to himself, what is going on?
Yay.
It's going to be the title of this chapter. Just going to make a quick note. Right under up tension. I'm going to forget what that means. Chapter 3.
Hello.
Torn.
Yeah.
I've only been doing this for a half hour. We can do more.
Okay.
I guess I finished, so you can do this chapter.
Did you finish?
Yes, because it was Mike's line.
What was going on?
What is going on?
When Mike got home that night, he went straight to his room and locked the door once he was inside, because locks are going to do so much against this guy.
Right?
He fell onto his bed, so confused his head was hurting. What was going on? What am I?
Who are you? Who are you?
Who is she?
Who is she? Who am I?
These are the questions he only started asking himself now. You only started asking, am I now?
Oh,
I have power.
honey.
What am I?
It's baby's first existential crisis.
Yeah.
Wait till you're in college. You'll have 3 a week minimum, and there usually will be followed up by heavy alcoholism.
Okay. That person, Darth Storm. He seemed to have the same gifts that Mike did, but his was more advanced. His was more controlled. His was more powerful. After he had accidentally called that cup to his hand at his friend's house, how do you accidentally do that? Like, oh, I just wish this would come to me.
Like, I just don't want to get up right now. Oh, shit, dude. Sick.
Who just thinks, like, move to my hand right now? Just randomly.
Go, Web, go.
Go, Power Rangers. I don't know why that happened.
Ooh.
Just go.
Okay, his was more...
I think that was in, like, in a YouTube
He had
video.
tried to use...
I think actually it was in Law of the Jungle.
Ah!
There was a Power Rangers song.
I can't believe... You're basically watching Korean pop idol Survivor, which is
Yes.
amazing because I am in a Survivor phase right now. Oh, I should have looked up Survivor fanfiction. Parvati and Amanda.
That's real people, though. Which,
I'm never gonna meet them.
that's,
But
you're never
Parvati,
90% of the real people.
Parvati, if you watch this ever, you're my favorite person who's ever played Survivor, and I can say that without a doubt. Just so you know. Okay.
Okay.
He had tried to use
He
that
tried to
power.
use that power again, but found it very hard. He'd only been able to do it to a few objects since then, and only tiny objects like paper clips and pens. Nothing like a door, let alone a whole human body like that Storm guy did to him. What if he took that guy up on his offer and went with him? You just said he used evil and you'd never associate with that kind of person.
Mm-hmm.
Would he learn what he was? Would he be able to gain complete control of his power? Would B ever be able to return to his friends and family?
This fanfiction is 9 years
real
old.
deep. These questions
Just so
shot
you-
through his head,
Just something I
with
realized.
no way to get an answer to any of them. A knock came at the door.
What is it? He called, irritated.
It's Brittany! She's on the phone! His little sister, Stacy, called through the door.
All right, he replied, standing up and walking over to unlock the door. He unlocked the door and opened it. Stacy passed the phone to him, and he closed the door and locked it again. He walked over to his bed and sat down on the edge. Hey, he said into the phone.
Hey, the voice of Brittany replied through the phone. Wow, okay. What are you up to?
Nothing, Mike answered, laying back on his bed. You?
Nothing much, she replied. Just got out of the shower, she added. She's coming very interesting.
I
Her
see,
voice is changing.
he replied, unsure what to say after that.
So, about our going to the movies this weekend, she began. Tomorrow, she added.
Tomorrow, he repeated.
Well, that'd be Saturday, so yes. But, yeah, I just got out of the shower. I'm wet and naked. Think about that. That a problem? She asked.
No.
Good. Let's spend the day together tomorrow before the movie, she suggested. It'll give us a chance to just talk.
What time did you have in mind? He asked.
How about I come over at 9 in the morning?
What the fuck?
She suggested. You gonna be up?
What the fuck? Real teenagers. The separation.
It's a Saturday. You're sleeping till noon.
Bitch, you ain't gonna get up till the PM hours. Yeah, most likely, he answered.
So that's okay then? She asked.
Yeah, he answered. 9 in the morning. I'll be up.
Good, she said.
I'm getting Goldie.
See you
Yikes.
then.
Yeah, night.
Night. She hung up first.
God bless.
And Mike turned off the phone after her. He let it drop to the ground and threw his hands over his face. So much was happening to him. Brittany wants to go on a date with him. Hey, you admitted it. And that Darth Storm guy offers him control over his gifts. Those are completely different things. Oh, a date, and this evil dude wants to teach me how to control my mystical powers that I don't understand.
You know that claymation penguin thing where like he starts crying because the
Maybe.
tea kettle's going off and the phone is ringing?
Is it the one that goes newt?
Yeah.
Then yeah.
He's basically living that meme right now. He's like, oh, I've got so much to worry about. It's two things. They're two kind of big things, but...
The one, I'm just saying the one is completely not
right,
that much
right,
of a big thing.
Right.
I mean, it's kind of a big thing if it's your first date with a girl that you've known for years and you like her and blah, blah, blah. But
stop being
compared to this evil dude who force controlled you. Did you not know that yet?
Right.
Offering to train you with your mystical powers that you have no explanation for.
Mm-hmm.
That's a bit more
A bit much.
important / extreme / whatever. That wouldn't seem like much to some people, but to him that was more than he had ever had to deal with before. He closed his eyes and fell into the world of sleep. He opened his eyes slowly. Sunlight blasting him with light. I don't know, he got home. He's going to bed. It's like 4 o'clock in the afternoon.
Good old depression nap, am I right?
I guess. He opened his eyes slowly, sunlight blasting him with light through his window. He shielded his eyes from the light with his arm and turned to look at the clock on his wall. 8:30 a.m.
Boy, you've slept so many hours. What the fuck? Shit, he muttered to himself, rolling off his bed. Brittany was going to be here any minute. It's really high. Bitch, Jesus. Brittany was going to be here any minute, and he was still in the clothes he was in yesterday.
You're a teenage boy, you're not going to be dressing up that much.
He scrambled to his feet and started to undress while trying to pick out what he was going to wear. Usually he just picked the first thing he grabbed, but he couldn't do that today. He was going out with Brittany. He had to look somewhat civilized.
Yes.
There was a knock on the door, and he tripped while taking his pants off and slammed on the floor, his face hitting the wooden floor before the rest of his body. The door opened, and Brittany walked through. Mike froze where he lay.
She's half an hour early. She knocks on the door, doesn't wait for an answer, and just walks into his room. What?
Your mom just let her in at 8:30 in the morning? My parents would be like,
You didn't
what
even
the
tell
fuck?
your mom that she was coming over.
You just went to bed. Dude, my mom would have been like...
Did he just turn the phone off? It's the house phone, and then just leave it in his room.
He's got a lot
This is like
going.
a landline, or something, I'm assuming.
It's 2008, so
Like, obviously
yes.
a wireless one, but...
Yeah, that's when the...
So, like, one of these ones.
Yeah, shit, dude.
But he just leaves it in his room.
My mom would literally be like, what are you doing here? If someone came over at 8:30 in the morning.
And she'd be like, oh, he'd be down in a minute, or not just, oh, just go up.
I mean, if this was me, my mom would be like, you know damn well he's not waking up for another 3 hours. It's his day off. He lay on the floor, on his chest, his pants down to his knees, his boxers clearly visible and his shirt off. He could feel the heat rushing to his face, and he could feel his face burning red. Ahem, he said after a long and rather uncomfortable silence. Could I, get dressed? He asked. She smiled, and her cheeks were burning red as well.
Sure, she said, closing his door. However, she did not leave. She took a step through his doorway before closing his door.
You're kidding me, he muttered to himself, but she heard him.
What? She asked. It's not like we're kids or anything. Get dressed. She turned her back to him and started looking at the rest of his room. He scrambled to his feet and removed his pants, quickly snatching another pair from his closet and putting it on. "You know, it just occurred to me," she said as she turned around to face him. "I've never seen your room before," she said. "It's been 2 years at least since you knew each other."
Jesus Christ.
Because the guy, Charles, has been nagging you about dating her for 2 years, so you've known each other for more than that.
Charles is such a terrible name for a teenager, but 2008 was a wild time.
Charles.
Someone who was
Chucky.
Someone who was 17 in 2008 is 26 now.
Yep.
Ah!
The author was probably like 17 when they wrote this.
Probably. Oh my god.
Potentially, because usually people write about characters their own age.
Mm-hmm.
Usually. Sometimes. When it's fan fiction and it's OCs, it's usually...
Yeah, I was thinking, I've mostly written characters about me, because even when I was writing... When I did my writing in high school, I was writing about high schoolers, and when I was writing CQ, the characters were...
I mean, yeah, when you're an
high
adult and you're
schoolers.
writing, like, chill books for, like, a younger audience, and you write it about a younger audience, because you write for the audience.
Mm-hmm.
But this is a fan fiction. This is for themselves, pretty much.
Yeah, CQ... Well, I was 18 when I wrote CQ, or 19.
And it's about the same.
It's about seniors in high school, and it's terrible, and it needs a lot of work before anything ever happens to it. But there's 22 episodes all written.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I don't have a lot of visitors to see it, he replied, grabbing a blue shirt from his closet.
You're vaguely popular in your friend group. You have a group of
Not as
friends.
popular as Charles.
Yeah, but you have a group of friends. Your friends would have seen your room at some point in
right.
the past 2 years.
He stood there looking at the shirt in his hands. He didn't know why he didn't just put it on, but he just stared at it. Suddenly he felt something soft and warm touch his back. He saw the shadow of Brittany behind him.
You seem to be bothered by something, she observed. What's wrong? She moved her hand
Honestly,
up his back to his shoulder.
I'm not gonna lie. If I woke up at 8:30, the person who said that we were meeting at 9 just showed up at my house at 8:30, and they were touching me while I was half naked, I would honestly be like, okay, can you please just go to the living room and, like, give me this half hour to prepare? Like, honestly, I don't care that you're at my house, but go away. I'm not ready to see you.
Yeah. And also, just, he's changing.
Stop touching me.
She hasn't left. She's, like, putting her hand on his shirtless back. I mean, yeah, I know you're friends, and you've been friends for years.
Don't touch me. Hands off the merchandise.
But you're trying to make this into a romantic relationship.
Yeah,
You don't just touch them unprovoked. On shoulder and turned him around to face her. He dropped the shirt he was holding and sat down on the edge of his bed. He let out a big sigh. "What's wrong?" she asked, sitting next to him and placing her hand on his.
What if you had a choice between the life you are leading now and a life that not many get to lead? A special life. What would you choose? He asked in a low voice.
This is weird. "What kind of special life?" she asked, grabbing his hand with hers.
A life with power. Power that not many possess, he asked.
"Power's important in life," she admitted. "But love, friends, and family, those are more important. And more powerful than any power could ever be," she explained. "I would choose the life I'm leading now. I have all the power I need." Mike was silent. "What do you ask this all of a sudden?" she asked.
Something that just came to mind, he answered, standing up and picking his shirt off the floor. Sorry, he added. She got up and walked in front of him, grabbing his shirt out of his hand. She slowly put his shirt on him. When she finished putting his shirt on him, her hands were still clenched on the collar of the shirt.
That's like not the last thing that you're holding when you put a shirt on someone.
Don't touch me! I can't relate to this because I'd literally be like, what are you doing? We're not dating. We're just friends. You're being weirdly... I would tell her to leave.
Put a shirt on someone without being like, "Hey, arms up." Yeah, without feeling you're dressing a child.
That too. Why did he not protest? I literally... You know that post where it's like, the first horse that got ridden, : that would be me right now. I'd be like, what are you doing?
I mean, every horse that gets ridden without knowing.
They're probably like,
Yeah.
When she finished putting his shirt on him, her hands were still clenched on the collar of the shirt. She pulled him in close and gave him a long kiss on the lips.
You haven't even gone on your first date.
Mike was caught off guard by the sudden
she's gonna
move,
put out by the
but
end of the
made
night.
no motion
Halfway
to stop
through.
it.
Halfway through.
She's gonna give him a handy during the movie. It's gonna happen. They held the kiss for what felt like an eternity, but it was only several seconds until she pulled away. She grabbed his hand.
Let's get going, she said, pulling him towards his door. Meanwhile, in a cave a ways from Riversville, a brown...
Meanwhile, in the lair of evil...
This is not evil, though. This is a brown hooded man.
Oh. Obi-Wan?
Yeah, stands up from meditative trance and walks over to the cave opening. He stares out towards where he felt the disturbance.
The Sith are on the move again, he muttered to himself. They seem to be... The Sith are on the move again.
Okay.
He muttered to himself. They seem to be focusing on one boy. He has an unusually strong connection to the Force. We can't let them get to him. Several other brown-robed people walked out into the opening and stood alongside him. Let's move. Okay. We can do one more chapter in this chunk of time. Chapter 4. This is you.
That's pretty short. Mike and Brittany spent...
It's called Love. You missed
Chapter
that.
4. Love.
Thank you.
Mike and Brittany spent most of Saturday walking around and talking with each other. Mike had almost forgotten completely about what had happened at school the previous day. How? He was so into talking with her.
Hot girl kissed
Nothing
him.
else seemed to matter. Yeah, hot girl, brain dead.
Is that a Danny Phantom quote? That sounds like that'd be from Danny Phantom.
I don't know.
Hot girl, brain
And then
dead.
Sam says something snarky and sarcastic, probably.
Oh, of course.
Because it was
She's the
Paulina
best.
walked past and Danny said this something stupid, and then she's like, "Oh God, you're so stupid."
Basically,
Yeah. Or Tucker could have said it. I don't know. Talking about whatever that Valerie. I don't know. He thought
Yeah.
Valerie was cute too. I don't know. Danny also had a thing with Valerie. I don't know.
Danny had a thing for...
Everyone had a thing with everyone.
Danny was just cute. I had a thing for Danny. I still do.
Danny Phantom. We should read a Danny Phantom fic.
Hell yeah,
I
hell yeah.
mentioned
Okay,
that.
okay.
I mentioned
sorry,
that.
sorry.
Anyways, all he could think about was her. She invaded his thoughts. Is she evil? As they continued to walk
I
together,
hope so.
holding hands as they went. Probably.
Oh, I
not.
hope so.
Probably not, but it'd be a great plot twist.
Yeah, it would.
They walked through the town park, but she told him not to go to the Sith, so probably not.
Well, she didn't just explicitly say it.
But she wouldn't know.
Right,
They
right,
walked
right,
through
right,
the
right.
town park and watched the children play on the play sets and jungle gyms and swinging on the swings. They walked through the field on the edge of town, the clear field filled with lush green grass and flowers blooming all over. Why are you walking through a flower field? They sat down in the middle of the field of grass and flowers. They sat side by side and kept talking about everything. Mike fell backwards from his sitting position and lay on his back, looking up into the clear blue sky above them. She lay down next to him and gripped his fingers with hers. This is so gay. It's really straight.
It's so
It's
gay,
so
we
gay.
say about the straights.
She tilted her head so that it rested on his shoulder. Mike closed his eyes to her feel. Okay. He was woken by a sixth sense going out of control. Spidey sense tingling. His eyes started up, and he sat up so fast that Brittany was woken up by him, and her head dropped to the ground. She's not leaning.
They
Oh,
both
she
passed
is.
the fuck out in the flower field. That's amazing.
Ow, she said, rubbing her head with her hand. Mike jumped to his feet and started looking in all directions, trying to find out what has sent his sense off so harshly. Brittany stood up next to him. "Are you okay?" she asked, placing her hand on his shoulder and squeezing it slightly. He turned to her and placed his hands on her shoulders.
I'm fine. Could you do me a favor? He asked.
"Yeah, of course," she answered.
Could you wait for me on the sidewalk? He asked. I just need a second alone, he added.
"Are you okay?" she asked in a worried tone.
I'm fine, he assured her. Please?
"All right," she answered. Before she started walking away, she pulled him in close and gave him another long kiss on the lips. He watched as she walked away through the trees. "I hate to see you go. Love to watch you leave."
I'll only be a second, he called to her. When she was out of sight, he called out, I know you're there. Come out. A brown-robed man stepped out from the tree line to his
with
left.
the good guys, his senses tingling so bad. But with the bad guy in the school,
He's just like,
hey, the door is locked. What? And there's a dude.
Yeah.
What?
He's like, what the fuck? The door is locked? What to heck?
He didn't sense him there at all, and he didn't sense these two robed figures following him a couple chapters ago.
Are you ready for another white person name?
Uh-huh.
Okay. Forgive me for sneaking like that, the man said with a slight bow. But I did not wish to cause alarm to your female friend, he added. Who are you? Mike asked. You can call me Joe.
Joe.
The man answered, pulling down his brown hood. The man looked to be in his late 30s, early 40s. He had long brown hair that seemed to fall all the way down to the middle of his back. He wore a tan get-up under his robe, with a belt around his waist, with several tiny packs and some metal cylinder thing hanging from the belt. What do you want? Mike asked, taking a step forward. I certainly don't wish a fight, Joe replied. I only wish to speak to you for a moment. That's one of the reasons I asked my friend to leave, Mike replied. I don't want to keep her waiting any longer. Talk, he demanded
Why
angrily.
is so angry with this guy who has...
This is like clearly the better of the two, and you
He
were
has
like...
no reason to be angry with this man. The other guy was just like, oh, what?
Right, the other dude was like way more suspicious. This dude's just like,
I
dude...
mean, did he say that much to him?
No.
Not really, but this
This guy
was-
gave you a name that
the other
isn't
guy,
creepy.
Yeah, the other guy, you were kind of just like, what's going on? Should I accept his offer? But this guy, you're like, what do you want?
Bitch, who you gonna trust? A dude named Joe or a dude named Darth Storm? Like... What is the obvious choice
This guy's
here?
wearing brown, the other guy was wearing black.
The other dude froze you and had you levitating.
You didn't even get to see his face, I don't think. It
This
was
dude-
just in shadow.
This dude is showing you his face, giving you a name, not using the force.
Announcing his presence, kind of.
Like, you're fine.
So that'd be why he could sense him more, because he's not hiding himself, I guess.
Peace, my friend, Joe replied, holding up his hand. I'm guessing from your confusion that you were confronted by a man in a black robe. How did you know? Mike asked, surprised. Partly because you just told me, Joe answered. And also because I can sense your confusion about your abilities, he added.
What? How would that make you think that he's confused about his abilities? Clearly he's already met this guy.
The Force works in mysterious ways. That's literally a line from Star Wars. That is a canon thing.
Yeah.
What do you know about it? Mike asked. Oh, I'm so hungry. Many things,
Yeah,
Joe
I
answered.
could eat again.
One thing I know is that you're not alone in your abilities. There are many others like you, and like me, he explained. And with every power, there are those who use it for good, and those who use it for evil, he added. Which one are you? Mike asked. I would be one of the good ones,
Shouldn't he be
Joe
able to sense
answered.
this if he could sense that he
Right?
was evil? He shouldn't... Okay, whatever.
The one who approached you yesterday. That was one of the bad ones. The other one, he could say the same thing. This means nothing.
Yeah.
Like, it means nothing, even though I know that in the context of everything, you're telling the truth.
Yeah.
He is part of a cult who call themselves the Sith. People who use our power for their own personal and selfish benefits, he explained. They use their powers for destruction and control. Mike was silent. I am part of a group called the Jedi, people who use our power for the general good, he went on. We use our power not to control or destroy, but to bring peace and for the greater good. What is this power? Mike asked. Just what the hell are we? We are not freaks like you are thinking, Joe assured him. Our power comes from the Force, a power that flows around and through us all. However, only certain people can actually be attuned to the Force and use it like we can, he explained. We are not freaks. We are merely people given gifts that most will never experience. What are your midichlorian levels, Joe? Where do you stand on the scale of, like, dirt to Anakin? Where do you fall? We have been given the ability to use that power for either the good or the selfish, he added. Mike was silent, going over everything he was learning. We must choose which path is right for us in the end, the Jedi went on. The Sith are ruthless people who value action over words, and murder over second chances. They value absolute control over freedom, he explained. And what do you people value? We value wisdom over power and freedom over control. We believe in giving people second chances and only use deadly force as a last resort when there is nothing left to use, Joe answered. The Jedi are peacekeepers. We try to be anyways. It's hard when we have to remain secret, but we try our best to grab and maintain peace. He explained. Don't use grab, Joe. That sounds selfish.
Forceful.
Yeah, grab is a forceful word. I won't keep you from your friend any longer. He turned his back to Mike.
Friend. Wink.
Ultimately, the choice is yours, he said, not looking at Mike. The light or the dark, you choose. Mike watched as Joe walked off into the trees and disappeared into the dense collection of trees. He turned and ran towards the sidewalk where Brittany was waiting for him, or at least he hoped that she was. He dashed through the edge of the trees and stumbled as he came to a stop, almost falling on his face. He looked to his left. She wasn't there. He turned to his right, and she was walking towards him. Sorry, he apologized as she reached him. I'm so sorry about making you wait. She threw herself into him, wrapped her arms around him and kissed him. He wrapped his arms around her and pulled her so she was pressed against him. After a minute of them holding each other in an intimate kiss, she pulled back a few inches and looked into his eyes.
I've known you for 6 years now, she whispered. And she's never seen his room. 6 years.
I'm just
She
triggered.
lives, next door.
We're maybe a couple thousand words in, and they're, madly in love, and I don't
She brought her
believe
hand up
it.
and put her palm on his cheek. During those years, I've grown to really like you, she continued to whisper. I love you.
I hope she's evil.
She used to be evil, but she fell in love, and now she likes him.
Oh, maybe.
Even though apparently the Darth just discovered him, yesterday. So maybe not.
We'll see.
But maybe.
Maybe she's using the Force to make people believe.
Maybe.
They've known her.
He put his palm on her cheek and whispered back.
I love you too. All
Is that where we're
right.
gonna stop?
It's been about an hour, so we'll call it good. But 4 chapters, that's a lot faster than Clockwork.
Yeah.
Because this is a long one, we'll save most thoughts till the end. But thank you guys so much for tuning in. If you liked the video, be sure to give it a like. Subscribe if you haven't already. We have awesome new content that comes out every weekday on this channel. If you have a fic suggestion you would like us to leave, please feel free to leave it down below. We will read it on this show. And if you
said you would like us
if
to
you like
leave.
the idea of this fic, let us know as well, because we'll see. We'll see if it's worth to keep pursuing it. I like to finish things.
Yeah, I didn't know that we were going to start things and stop them ever.
I mean, if we get to a point where we're done with this. Clockwork was
we
we
made
were
it through
determined.
Red X Green and Clockwork.
You're right. We can get
We
through
can
anything.
get through anything.
But thank you guys so much for tuning in, and join us next week for more of this Star Wars fic. Adios, amigos. Adios, middle school. Bye.